Yeah, good evening, friends. Hope you are able to see me. The Pharma Duos is back with the second episode, and actually, I need to thank the viewers for making this concept a big one because initially, when we started, the Pharma Duos like to thank the audience because it is when we started the show last time, it was only 20 to 25 live audience was watching the show. After that, many has poured in with the beautiful comments and motivated us to take the show forward. And if you see the whole last week video, it has crossed nearly 512 views by now today. So that much people have seen, and everyone has motivated us. They called us by phone and WhatsApp and other things that you people are doing a great job, and it's an innovative and initiative taken by us to talk about the only about the pharma journey without any motive of any commercialization in this. So, as we promised, this week we are going to have a guest. Invited guest is already waiting on the platform. But initially, to continue our show, what we are going to do is where we stopped last week. That is, we started talking about my journey and Satish journey about in pharma field when we how we entered into B Farm, then how we made it into M Farm. Now the continuation episode that is from M Farm to PhD of Satish and myself for 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll be inviting the guest to the show and we'll be sharing our experience with the guest. So that's it. This is the sequence of the day. So you can have a live show today and hope you all enjoy our journey again. So to over to Dr. Satish to continue his journey from M.Pharm to PhD.
Yeah, good evening to all. Happy to see you all in this beautiful evening. I'm really amazed to hear that the viewers number had crossed 500 because we are not officially running any channels. We are just one among the members of the Facebook, and we have only a very close circle of people with Facebook. So with that, how we reached beyond 500, even the first episode itself, we could able to reach 500 and more views. It is really a great thing. We had not expected that much, but thank you for your again already he thanked. Again, I am also thanking on my behalf for supporting us through your views. Your views are our support. Okay, in the previous episode, as Dr. Palanish and Musnudams told, we had discussed about how we had entered into B Farm and M Farm. Today's episode, it's going to focus upon how our PhD or research program was. What are the experiences we came across? It is going to be very short. Don't worry, it will not bore you, I hope. Okay, when I was working as a lecturer in a private college in Sivakasi, I got an opportunity to apply for an program called as Quality Improvement Program for Teachers. All India Council for Technical Education had came up with a beautiful idea of improving the quality of existing teachers. So in that aspect, what they told is they will conduct a overall interview. In that interview, they had given a series of list of items what they will look for. So if you are having a merit, then you will be selected to do PhD in a few selected nationally renowned institutions. See, under QIP program, not all institutions are involved. Only very good institutions, that is nationally renowned institutions, are taken up by this AICTE. So I had applied for that. Thanks for my management and officials in that college. They had immediately accepted and signed the application for processing. So I sent the application, and within 15 days, I got an interview. The interview took place in Ooty JSS College of Pharmacy. Then the Pharmacy Council of India President, Dr. Suresh, the legend, Dr. Sri Palanish sir, Chinnasamy sir, and many other people were there for the interview panel. And they put left and right lot of questions, and what you are going to do in your research, and many questions they had asked. And finally, they looked into my list of items that I had listed for as a merit. So in that, they could able to find few papers, research publications. In 2002 and 2003 and all, these publications are not familiar with the pharmacy people. Only few people used to publish that too in Indian journals. So at that time, I am having some 6 or 7 publications and 5 or 6 conferences attended, even at my 4th year of my career. So they had got impressed on seeing that. Do you have publications? Oh, say something about your publications. I told that this and this publications I had done. My basic research of a research area is based on nanoparticles. So they got impressed, and immediately Professor Chinnasamy sir told that if you are working on nanoparticles, then it is best to go to Kakatiya University. That will be an ideal place for you, and you can do a lot of research there. But what I thought in my mind is just to take Ooty JSS as a working place for me, because the primary reason is within the Tamil Nadu I have to pursue my PhD. Immediately, Professor Suresh also told that no, you have to go outside. You have to get other state experiences. As long as you go outside, you'll gain more experience. Like that, he told, and they had finalized my interview. So within another 1 or 2 months, I received the order. Immediately, you have to go and join. If you're joining, you submit the joining report on the particular university. So I took 2-3 days leave and went to, first time I'm leaving the outside the state alone. Gone to that Warangal Kakatiya University. That railway station to Kakatiya University is nearly around 20 kilometers. Most of the trains reach this Warangal by morning 4 o'clock or 4:30. So when you get down and come out of the railway station, it looks like somewhere you are going in the night. It very chill. Climate will be very chill in the early morning, and we have to travel around 20 kilometers. We don't know the place, but just by saying the name Kakatiya University, any auto driver will pick up you. So we don't know whether we are going to university or not, because fully dark. It comes around like it is going around like some forest, and within some half an hour we will reach the university gate, and they will drop there. You have to give 50 rupees for that, and getting down and getting a hotel, and only few hotels are there around the Kakatiya University. So I will there. Initially, one of my friend had helped me to log into the guest house of that university. So 1 or 2 days we can, because a newcomer, they had provided that facility, and as a regular thing we cannot do that. Only for official work they are permitting to stay. Then I met the officials and said that I have selected in QAP, and immediately welcomed me and given all the formalities, completed the formalities, and within 1 or 2 days I had submitted my joining report also. After submitting the joining report, 1 year we have to work in the parent institution. That means where you are coming from, where you are working. That is, in my old college, in private college, I had to work for 1 year and carry out literature survey and other things, and I have to make ready my exact plan of work. So after 1 year, when I'm going to the Warangal Kakatiya University, I am ready with my plan of work. Immediately I have to execute. Within 3 years, I have to complete my work. That was the target given. So I got one important thing I want to say here is, I was working, I studied my B Pharm, M Pharm, and 4 years of career in a private affiliated college. And immediately after 4 years, I'm shifting the workplace to a university. So a lot of variations I could able to see that. What is means a lot of freedom to work in private institutions, particularly in for research. There will be a lot of restrictions. That too in a teaching college, usually by 6 o'clock we have to wind up all the research works and we have to go to home. But it was astonishing for me in Kakatiya University College of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Everybody will work day and night. No switching off or closing down is there. Every lab will be working. If the student requires, he will come, open the lab, and start his work. In chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry, they will carry out synthesis day and night. In pharmacology department, that animal studies will be going on. So it will be it is a different experience for me, because so far as by 6 o'clock, whatever research work we will have will complete or come out. So that likewise facilities. Uh, uh, any facility in any lab we can use without any restriction, not only with University College of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Under that university, what are all the facilities? In botany there may be some facility, in zoology there may be some facility, all those facilities we can use. So that was an just jumping into ocean of research. I felt like that. So I also started working slowly my work, and my guide was really Dr. G. Krishna Mohan. Now he is the director of pharmacy in JNTU Hyderabad. So he is also a very cooperative man. Uh, I'm really blessed to have such a guide. So he was the principal of University College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Pagadia University at that time when I'm doing my PhD. So he'll be very busy with his administrative works, and he will allocate daily half an hour to look into my work. Upon completion of all his administrative work, he will come to lab and sit with me for me and the other research scholars are also there. At least half an hour he will spend with us, even he is busy. And next important thing what I felt is interdisciplinary. We could able to understand what others are doing. Normally in a private college, if you are working, or a teaching college you are working, we know about our pharmacy related work only. But when you are entering into a university, we have a lot of exposure towards other works, related works. What is happening in physics, what is happening in chemistry, general chemistry, and like there's a lot of experiences I got around that university. So really I'm blessed to have a PhD program in a college like that, in a university like that. And really my staff members in that university are also very cooperative and convincing, and they given me a lot of support to work. And uh, they also encouraged publishing in standard journals. See, initially we are publishing in very normal journals, and only after seeing the publications of others in that university, professors in that university, I set the target as impact factor and other things. So really, it was a great experience for me, and I hope that now what one more thing I want to say. This in a normal uh, off-campus programs, PhD programs nowadays are many of them are preferring that. Many people, teachers are preferring to do off-campus PhD programs. It is really an advantage, because without doing without getting a salary, financial support, carrying out PhD work is not easy. But at the same time, if you go for full-time PhD program, there will be a lot of exposure. We can focus a lot on research. But when you're working in a private college and doing a PhD research, that may not be that much focus we can pay on research. That the difference I feel a lot. In our present institution also, whoever is doing a full-time program, their focus is fully on the research work. So they don't have any distractions. They can make wonders in their research work. That's what I felt. So with this short speech, I request Dr. Shanmusundaram to take over the platform.
Thank you, Dr. Satish. It was a very good experience listening to you about how to do a PhD full time in a quality improvement program, QAP program. Many may not be aware of that. And still, these programs are running, I hope, in many sponsored organizations, and still many faculty are benefiting in the government universities because of this. So, to start with, my PhD was slightly a contrast one to yours, in the sense you started working, then you started off exploring into the PhD one. But my straight vision, as I told in my last thing, my father, when I joined BPharm, he said, first day you had to come out of PhD, no works in between. So immediately what I did is, after my MPharm, I didn't have any other second choice. Immediately, since my father was also working in the University of Madras, immediately he got me a PhD application. And in that University of Madras, there is an option that we can fill the guide's name and give, and the guide may accept us directly. So similarly, already my guide was known to me from B Farm, so my father had a word with him that tomorrow my son is going to give application in your name. Just like that, I filled the application and just signed in my guide's name, who is my mentor in academics, Dr. Venkatraman. So just like that, I joined and went to my university, that is Madras, that is PGIBMS campus in Taramani, Postgraduate Institute of Basic Medical Sciences in Taramani. So that campus I went, and as you said, everyone was focused only on research. Everyone was on research and nothing else. If you speak to anybody, you'll be speaking only on research aspects. And I had a very good opportunity because the institution had a very good library, and another benefit is my father is a librarian there, so I could access to any books and any journals to my thing. And actually, my father nowadays everyone Googles it, everyone getting a PubMed search and famous with everything. But in those days, to get a journal, to get a search, it is very difficult. Actually, we had to go for a midline search. That is, if there will be a CD, the CD will be uploaded in the system, and every year you will have a CD. And in every CD, you have to search whatever data we want. They call it as Boolean operators. They use keywords, different keywords for doing that. And still, the Boolean operators are working very good in the PubMed search. If you do with that, you'll get a very good data, but not like just like how you do in Google. So my father was well versed in that in 1994 itself. So, and he was giving a lot of information to all the researchers in that. So it was easy for me to collect the literature survey data and everything. But my guide was very particular in one aspect, that you should not go anything with the abstract. You should have a full paper or a full article of literature. Then only you have to read the literature thoroughly. Then only you start working on this. So what he told me is, you go to the National Library of Medicine, Delhi, so stay there for 1 or 2 days, collect all the original journals, and come back. So nearly I collected 400 original articles, so related to all my study, and came back. Actually, I had a start doing my guide is very famous in anti-inflammatory and rheumatic arthritis studies. Most of the studies are oriented toward that. I started doing a plant called Astrolochia indica. I started everything, and I was, after 6 months of time, and I was supposed to start the work. I was seeing news in the US FDA news stated that Astrolochia indica is a plant which is banned because of the astrolochic acid, which is toxic. So the next day, I was supposed to start my work on Astrolochia indica, but suddenly the work was stopped. So I was totally upset and went to my guide next day morning and said, I saw a news like this, what should I do? So he said to me, all these are very common in research. You have, what skill I remember is, you said, at least today, before you start, they banned it. If they were banned it after your completion of the work, what happens? So you immediately assigned me another plant called the Psychrophila auriculata, which is called as Nirmulli in Tamil. It's a very good plant, and it is used by many tribes and ancient people in traditional system of medicine for very lot of anti-inflammatory purposes. Especially, it is applied to if you burn the ashes and mix it with the solvent and apply it in your pregnant women's feet, the water logging of the pregnant women will be easily drained out the next morning. So it's a very good anti-inflammatory plant which I worked on, and my guide gave me the opportunity to do some small research scholarships along with that. So he was having his own scholarships for doing in Himalayan Drug Company, and for rock salt, and for Amatanjan, and so on. So we did short-term projects which I got a scholarship. I was also assigned as a research associate in those scholarships. My guide, myself, as well as one of my colleagues, was also roped in by my guide, and every month we used to get an incentive or a scholarship amount, stipend, you can say, for 3,000 to 5,000. In those times, in 2001, the stipend was very helpful for us to. We used the stipend to buy all the chemicals, our own apparatus, and other things. And more to say about my institution batchmates, that is both my seniors as well as my juniors and batchmates. in research work. We are very, very, very talkative about only research. They used to explain me and help me, only guide me how to do the research. And as you told, the government institution, still the institution is like that. 24 hours you can walk into the lab and you can do your research. No time restrictions. Only time restrictions are there for females. That is up to 9 they can work in the night, and early morning they can start coming by 6. So 6 to 9 is a restriction for the females, whereas the males 24 hours, 24/7 lab it is. So, and as you said, we'll be doing a lot of research only on Sundays because there won't be any interferences from other people. So every Sunday, if some senior will be doing sacrifice, animal sacrifice. So we'll go to the institution by 4 o'clock early morning. Then we start doing the sacrifice of the animals, helping the seniors to learn how it has been done. So we have a good senior junior rapport in that. We'll be being sacrifice means not a simple thing. It is minimum 100 to 200 animals we have to sacrifice, and we have to do 40 to 50 enzyme studies on the same day because homogenizing the samples and other things. So everything was done as per the ethics of an institution, animal ethics committee approval and other things. So we'll definitely will be 15 to 16 research scholars working there, and minimum 2 to enzyme studies will be done by one scholar, so that we'll be able to complete by 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock all this, because the homogenate and the tissues will get damaged. They will not stay longer for a time, so it will get damaged. So we have to do all the studies. Especially, I remember experiment that superoxide dismutase, which has to be done in a dark room because the light exposure will spoil the enzyme activity. So switching off the total light, and we'll be staying for that study alone till night 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock to get the total darkness, and we'll be doing it. And most of my seniors are in US, and they started doing like PDF and other things. But my intention to be in a career as an academician and do academics as a not only a teaching profession, it's also academic research profession where we continue. So, and I did my pure research in pharmacology, and I am able to do all this. And one more thing which I need to say is I wrote my thesis for 3 months of time. I was writing, and because I had a 400 research article to refer, I referred the research literature. I was contracting myself. I was doing. I'm not good in writing, so I used the older desktop to do it. Pentium 3 desktop was there with me, so I was doing that work for 3 months. And after 3 months, I told my guide that actually during that time my guide has retired, and he was in his house. He just called me for one date for a thesis correction. I just went, and I was thinking of what all corrections he's going to make and what is going to happen. Just he made only a grammar correction in 1 hour time. Nothing else. It was around 190 pages or 220 pages of thesis book. He just made a grammar correction because he said you have done a very perfect job in discussion writing and result writing, and that was a wonder actually to me. I didn't expect that from a guy, and he was having so confidence in my thing. Then I submitted my thesis book, and it was evaluated by Indian and foreign evaluators, and we had a very good Viva session followed by. So doing a full-time research, as Dr. Satish told, it's always a advantageous matter compared to a part-time job because we'll be focused only on research. And I also wrote my research article based on my thesis was first published on Journal of Ethnopharmacology. It was a very, very reputed journal. Till now, it has a very good name and fame. So my first article on Hydrophila auriculata, and we introduced a new technique to do a hepatoprotective active. That day in those times I was not familiar about this patenting and all. My guide also has not insisted that, otherwise I would have patented and I would have done all those things. The 7-day method of doing hepatoprotective activity, but still that method is now cited more than 500 to 600 times in highly reputed journals. My first article after my PhD has got a very good value. So all the researchers, what we need to say is, when you are doing a research, don't do it for namesake. You learn the concept, you learn everything, do hands-on, you do your research, and you feel the difficulties, whatever it is, collect the literatures fully. Don't Google and do with the abstract of the literature, because abstract say something, and the result, if you study, it will be in a different in the literature of the article. So collect the full text articles, proper literature survey. Nowadays, a new concept is a systematic review, not a narrative review, systematic review. follow the systematic review, prepare an article, submit the systematic review, then start your research work. Then no one can question you at any point of time. You will be knowing what is the pros and what is the cons of your research. That's what I need to say to the audience who are seeing this and who was good enough to be seeing in the PhD session. Now to introduce, it's a time to introduce our guide. Time to introduce the invited speaker of the day. So since we are talking guide and research, it's coming as guide. Now it's going to be an invited guest. So I'm going to add the invited guest on the show right now, and she's here.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone. Hi, sir.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
You're welcome on air. Now you'll be. So to introduce the guest, she is alumni of Wales. That is, she did her M.Pharm in 2010 batch. She did M.Pharm pharmaceutical analysis. That time I was HOD of the department in analysis. And the thing is, usually other batches before and after we had a mix-up of girls and boys. And Pratisha batch is only girls with 10 girls. So I have to face all the 10 girls. That was the thing. But all 10 girls are very, very knowledgeable. Still, they are in contact in my Facebook and other things. They are in very good, highly reputed positions. And most of them are not in India. Many are in abroad as well. So at least they worked in abroad. So that is a specialty of that batch. And why I called out of this 10 Pratisha, because she is the topper of the batch. She is a gold medalist in that particular batch. And she is also my PhD scholar. She did my part-time PhD under me. And she also was a recipient of one of the research awards, this PG IBMS award. She was defending a article in a live audience show, and she has got this oral presentation award, which was guided by me. So with this introduction, I'll introduce Pratisha to the show. So now I and Pratisha will be chatting for quite time about our experiences for our journey and Pratisha's journey for another 10 to 15 minutes. Again, after that, Satish will be coming on board to interview. It will be an interview process. He'll be interviewing Pratisha about a management career as well as a industrial and US career. So now it's over to Pratisha to introduce herself and say hi and how she feels about this show and other things.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for a wonderful introduction, sir. I'm truly humbled and honored, and thanks for inviting me. And I'm truly delighted to share the stage with you. And I'm here to introduce myself to whomever I haven't met before. I'm Pratisha Peter, and I'm an alumni of this university, and I did my master's and PhD. So PhD under the guidance of Dr. Shanmugh Sundaram sir, and just even before starting this wonderful journey and the talks, I'm really scared. Reason being, I still remember the days holding our lab records and waiting at sir's office for the signatures, and but now I'm like very honored to be here, sir. And just before entering the show, whatever introduction you have given, that's like I'm really appreciate that, sir. But like I would like to thank a person. Definitely, we have like everyone say as a phrase like we have many.
I think due to some technical issue, Pratisha has got disconnected from that. No issues.
Yeah, in the meantime, we'll talk about our process. We can when you are talking about
She's back in Steam.
research career.
Hmm.
Talking about the research career, you told about publication, so we can have a separate episode how to
Yes.
publish and what sort of hurdles we'll come across initially when you are trying to publish and all those things, which will be very useful for the youngsters. Okay, sir, we'll continue with the channel.
Yeah, now over to Pratisha again.
Sorry, sir, I lost you for a few seconds.
No.
So before I even want to enter into this journey, I just truly want to thank someone. everyone says like, behind every successful man there is a woman, but behind this women there is definitely, I would say there are three men. One definitely, like every girl out there, dad will be supporting. So I will definitely thank him. He is PV Ramakrishna Rao. He's a HM. He works in a town called Narsipatnam. Back there, and no, it belongs to the Vishakhapatnam district of Andhra Pradesh. And then the second man I would say I have in my life is my husband, because I don't have any brothers or siblings. So that is Vikram MJ, who supported me, who haven't said no for any of my PhDs or no whatever I did. And the third and most important, whom I wanted to thank, I really owe to him. What I'm here now today, I owe everything to my father-in-law, Dr. M.K. Jawahar Babu. So just in a one word, because I'm having a wonderful career in whatever field I am, and my husband is having a wonderful career just because of him. Reason is he's a very well established doctor in Pondicherry, with a well established clinic and everything for past 30 years. He left everything and came for us to Hyderabad just because he can take care of his grandson, and so that his daughter-in-law and son will have a wonderful careers out there. So I'm not sure how many people will that for their daughter-in-law. Definitely someone will be doing for their daughters or their wife, but or the sisters and daughter-in-law, it is something like you don't expect. So I'm really overwhelmed with all those things. I'm really blessed to have him in my life. So with that note, let's start my journey in Wales.
Yeah, you can just explain in 2010 how you got into Wales, how you came to know about Wales in 2010, because now Wales is more famous. In 2010, it was a new young deemed university that time, and though it was running for 15 to 20 years that time itself, but it was as a deemed university, it was new. So how you got into Wales, and how you can start from there.
Sure, sir. So definitely, every other aspiring candidate, I do have some dreams to fly abroad, and also I gave my GRE and wrote many things, but unfortunately at the last minute my dad said no. After giving all those exams, getting some score, getting a letters from the college, he said no, just because no particular reason. Even my friend who gave we prepared together and who gave exams along with me, she's ready to fly. I was like crying like hell. He clearly said no. So I have no choice. So I prepared my mind. Okay, I need to study India. Then I started exploring for the options. Then I came to know about the Wales University from some of my friends who were in Chennai, and also from my family members who were in Chennai for the past 10, 20 years, kind of settled in Chennai. So they referred Wales University to me. And the other factor is I have my seniors in BPharm who joined the same college. So in that way, I have a good impression towards the college. And when I looked at the ratings it has, and and the faculties, it's like and all put together in a nutshell. Okay, I thought, well, this is a good college for me to run through. Even my dad has some things in his mind, he doesn't want me to he will do his own research, and he came up with his answers like, yeah, you will be joining over here. So I did give several exams, but then finally I decided on this by looking at how the history of the college and the university, and it says that it to have a very good ranking now. You guys again? Did I? Okay. So, sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible.
So that's how my journey has started. In 2010. So joined in pharmaceutical analysis. So back then, our Shanmugha Sundaram sir is a HOD. So he's still a HOD sir for all of us. So we still call him as a HOD sir during our conversations. Then let me tell you one thing which really created a good platform for me in Informers. So when we entered the college, like any other any other students, we enjoyed all the first 6 months very nicely. Then the good thing about Wells is it will give you a lot of opportunities to participate in symposiums and national level seminars and all. So like that, I got an opportunity to participate in one of it's a debate. So I did participated in it, and fortunately I won, which I don't even know. And no, sir has came and asked me, "Hey, Pratusha, you won this debate, and why don't you tell me this?" Because I don't know at that point of time, because we were waiting for the pharmacy day celebrations to happen, so that the winners will get announced and awarded over there. So that is when it has started, and from that point we went for many seminars, I would say, and then a national wide recognized symposiums and all. So what has collectively given to us is a good experience. How no how the world is looking at the current situations, or how the world is looking at the pharma things, and what is happening around the world in terms of the pharma and all. And it will never be a good phrase without thanking these people. Reason being, one, they supported us very well. And before I even go into the informed things, what you really have to focus on in an inform, let me just tell you, you need a very good guidance or a very good support who is in that field, or who can help you out thinking in a right way, and who can guide you in a right direction. So fortunately, I would say Wales has faculty who are capable of all these things. I'm not no exaggerating the things. Just look at the professor's profile. Like if you ever took anyone's profiles, like Samsi sir's profile or Satish sir profile, they do have hundreds and hundreds of publications in a very good journals, and everything it will be referred or with a good impacted reputed journals and all. So how does this helps? I'll tell you, in the later stage.
Yes.
But this is something you are lucky enough to have these people, and they were open and not. I haven't seen that many. They are very open to help you out. If there is something that you need help, they will definitely extend help. It's not just me. Even all my batchmates will support on the statement. It's not just for the sake of something. I'm not talking this. Even my juniors, I visited college multiple times when I was in Chennai. So even my juniors, I left the college long back, but then everyone will support the statement. I'm pretty sure on that. So, coming to what are the three things that had helped me out, and that will help you out, and getting a better things. One, definitely, as sir said, you need to concentrate on your second year of your M.Pharm, where please get at least one publication in a very good journal with a very good impact factor. So maybe if impact factor, everything sounds like a fancy word. Think it like a college with a good rating. Definitely, everyone wants to get a seat in a college with a good ratings and reviews, right? Top 10 colleges in India, top 10 colleges in US, yeah. So similarly, you have a top 10 journals, so which are rated by the impact factors. So if you have a published article in that, it will add value to your career. Number two, please opt for any internships in companies, whether it is a small pharmaceutical organization or a big MNC. Please opt for the internships. And the third, with no, don't fake anything, which do happens many times. Please don't fake your project. Please do your project properly. If there is a choice, do it in an industry. So these three will really help you out in getting a campus job. And or even getting into the industry. That has really helped me out. For all these things, you definitely need a backbone where the sir has supported. In my case, I took pharmaceutical analysis and he was the HOD, which I already told you. So how it has helped me is, so when I was publishing, you never knew how which journal you need to see or which journal you need to really write your paper for, uh, because there were a hell lot of journals floating in on internet today. So you really don't know. So if you can ask your guide, ask your HOD help, they will definitely help you out with this. Second thing is getting, how do I get an internship? They do have really good contacts. They do have their ex students. They do have their, trust me, I think I have my sir's college mate, classmate who is working as a deputy general manager in Pfizer. I'm an ex Pfizer employee too. So they,
Pratisha, actually, Satisha will be talking to you right now about the Pfizer and your other career. So
yeah,
I'll be calling him both. So you can continue with Dr. Satisha.
yes,
Dr.
sure.
Satisha, it's over to you to talk to Pratisha. I'll be taking leave for 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's very interesting to see your journey in Wales. I had seen you as a M.Pharm student and a research scholar and many more in Wales University. And after that, I like to know how you entered into the first job. What helped you in getting the first job?
So there's something which helped me in getting my first job is doing an internship, which I just told a couple of minutes ago. One is doing the internship in the organization. So I did my internship in one of the MNC. It's in Hospira back then, and so that has helped me in getting a job. It's like there are more chances for any student who do internships. Their chances are high in getting lining up in a job in the same organizations.
Yeah,
So that,
I understand. It's getting a job. First job is a very important matter because once you get into the job, then only you can show your put up your capabilities. You can show your strength. So the first job is a very important thing in your life. So I think that internship is an important thing that helped you to in getting a first job. So, can you say some experiences how you spent the time in Hospira uh, during your job? What was your responsibilities and how it was?
so when I landed up in my first job, so how internship helps you is, let me just talk on that for a minute. How internship helps you is, you will not be a new end to the organization. So people already know that, hey, if these people were already trained during their internship, so if I give them a basic training, so they'll be able to do the job. So that's the mindset of industry people when you go from an internship to your full-time job. So that's what happened with me as well. So when I did my internship, I learned some of the things, and when I enter into the job, it is like with a minimal supervision, we used to do the things. Uh, I was landed up in an R&D, Hospira Research and Development department. So started working on a couple of projects. So when I say project, you don't get a project directly. Being a trainee, they call you as a trainee the moment you land up, because it's your first job. You're a fresher. So being a trainee, you won't get your project. So you will be tagged up with any senior guy or a senior scientist sitting over there. So you need to work along with them and get to know how it is being done in an industry. And like every one of us know that pharmaceutical industry is a sensitive industry. If something just goes wrong, it cannot be. Even one mistake, it counts, because maybe it puts someone's life in danger. So it is a very sensitive industry, and it is a very regulated industry, I would call. So you need to learn the things from them, and every moment your experience will add. You have your people to guide you. You have your people to make you understand the things. But then your learning is also more important. So parallelly, you need to understand, okay, this is what it is. What is the next thing I should do to get better in this? So
Yeah.
landing in the first job is not something like, it's not an end, I would say. So you
It's
need
a
to
starting. It's an, starting. Landing in the first job is an starting point of your career. So after joining in R&D of Hospira, are you given with some promotions and other things? How your career was growing in Hospira? What is the next
So
stage?
I would say, like, parallelly, I just joined PhD in the Wales as well. So I know even before going there to the promotion part, uh, sir, I have heard your journey of, I have watched your videos. I have heard your journey of your PhD, and that's a one kind of PhD. You have a full time PhD, but a certain experience. And then I've heard sir's journey, Samsi sir's journey, PhD directly from MPharm to the PhD, and then. My PhD is a different altogether. So I took a part-time PhD. I wanted to go for a full-time, but then, like, with suggestions of, I took a suggestions of Samsi sir, and I took suggestion of some of my colleagues and all. So I went for a part-time PhD. So I was doing my PhD in Wales, and I started. But my first promotion is like maybe I earned it after 3 years. So usually how it happens in an industry is, I don't, it depends from industry to industry. You have to complete something called your probation, which you see in the government organizations as well. And after your probation, you will be entering into something like, a full-time permanent employee of the organization. Then really, like, the science fields is something tricky, I would say, because your experience counts and your experience matters.
So my next question is, okay, you parallelly done your PhD research and you are taking your job career also.
Yeah.
Whether upon completion of your PhD, the industry had appreciated it, or whether it given proper credits for your PhD.
Yes, sir, definitely. I would say yes. The reason is, in a pharmaceutical industry, you have your careers in a different way. For a B farm, you do have a different careers, and your M farm, you have a different careers, and PhD definitely yes. So right after my PhD got awarded. In fact, like, right after I submitted my thesis to the college, so I got a letter saying that so and so has been submitted. So, and then it got awarded. So right after the award of my PhD, I've been promoted as an assistant manager. So that is a value you have for a PhD in a pharmaceutical industry. Even
No,
like,
there is a specific reason why I asked this question.
yeah,
Some of my students who are working in the industry at earlier stage, they used to say that MPharm itself is very much sufficient. There is no need for a research degree when if you want to go for higher jobs in or higher positions in a pharmacy industry. So that was actually tricking me. Once higher studies are there, if you are very familiar with research, definitely it should help you, know. So
yeah.
why this industry is not considering? But that is not true, I think. From your case, it is very evident that they had properly given a lot of credits for your PhD research, and they had given promotions and other credentials to you. Is it right?
Yes, exactly, sir. You are right. So you're absolutely right. So the thing is, like, if you, I have seen, I know a couple of MNCs in pharmaceutical industry. I have my friends who are working in MNC, but if you ask me, a PhD designations and careers are different when compared to MPharm. You can achieve with MPharm. I'm not denying the fact you cannot do that, but then, like, a PhD in an R&D will be considered in a different way. It is like, you have already done your research, you know how to handle your own experiments and all. So the moment you enter, you will be designated with an, at least the industry I have seen, it will be designated you with an assistant manager or a research scientist, they will call you. But for an MPharm, as a fresher, if you wanted to enter into the industry, if you take the both in a parallel, if you have an MPharm fresher who is entering into the industry, and you have a PhD fresher who is entering into the industry, so they will consider the PhD as an experience. So you will not get the same position like your MPharm fresher. So if an MPharm fresher is offered a scientist or something, you will have a So that's a difference I have seen in the industry. Maybe like some companies they do follow different things. So that all depends on the organizations, but at least the
Yeah,
companies I've seen.
definitely.
Uh,
Different companies follow different protocols. Different companies follow different protocols in giving promotions, and the thing is very good. The next, I want to know how long did you served in Hospira in your first job?
it's almost 6 years.
Oh, great. Then what was the next plan?
So okay, while I think I took many steps while I'm in Hospira. I joined on PhD, like I
Yeah,
told you.
yeah.
So and
Along
then
with PhD, what else you did?
sorry, sir.
Along with PhD, what else steps you took for the next build for
So
building your career?
yeah, when I'm on PhD, I'm more into R&D. As I told you, it's more a research and development career. And somehow, like I realized that's not my cup of tea. And then I wanted to. Then I fortunately met these people. Like they're consultants. They are from PwC, McKinsey, all from the top MNCs. So they came as a to for a due diligence for Pfizer and Hospira. Like let me just give you a clarity. It was Hospira before, and Hospira was completely acquired by Pfizer, and that's it's a properly a Pfizer company. So
Yeah, you are
then
working at Hospira when Pfizer took over Hospira. Am I
yeah,
correct?
exactly. It in a span of 2 years, Pfizer took over Hospira. So there is 4 years. It's a Pfizer. So these people has come for a due diligence, and they are consultants. They do work with the different departments, and the working style for a consultant is totally different when compared to a scientist. Maybe that's after doing a PhD. Maybe very few will be like giving up on their scientist jobs like me. I thought, okay, fine, I'm done with this. I'm no more a scientist. Let me no take up this career. But for that, what you need, what I have to do is something like really that needs to be worked on. So that is where I entered IIM. For you being a consultant for the top organizations like PwC or Deloitte or EY, KPMG, the big four you call it. And to enter into any of the big four, you need an MBA from the reputed college. So that's when I started preparing for IIM, and fortunately cracked it, and I joined my IIM in
So
2000.
IIM entrance is separate, or there is any common entrance exam for joining MBA in IIM?
So for IIMs, you have something called CAT. Uh, so you need to crack the CAT for getting a seat in IIM. Uh, but I would say, what are the advantages? Let me not. That's a different ball game. Talking about how to crack the CAT and all. Uh, what are the advantages for a pharma student in an IIM? I can tell you clearly about that. So that many people doesn't know. Many people think that okay, I'm a science student, I may not be able to crack that mathematics and all. Even I'm a science student. I complete my plus 1 and plus 2 in Andhra Pradesh, where you will leave your mathematics right after your class 10. If you're a state board if you're following a state board syllabus, you will leave your mathematics right after your class 10. So I haven't touched my mathematics books for at least like 10 years. Then I started preparing for a CAT. So if I can crack it, anybody can crack it. So don't worry. All it needs is some planning and a decent preparation. So advantages of a pharma student,
So one question I have to put here: you
yes,
felt at a particular point that if you have a management degree with you, you can
mhm,
shine more in your career. Is
yes.
it true? So
So
only
I would say, yeah, definitely a management degree would help you. That it's like if you take any CXO level profiles, like have the habit of doing this. So if you take any CXO level profiles, they do have an MBA degree from a very good college. It's executive MBA based on their experiences, or they would have done their MBA and they have built their ladder from there. It's totally a different thing. But if you see any profile, they would definitely have an MBA degree.
so
So
after So after completing MBA,
Mhm.
you moved to this PwC. Am I correct?
It took, I mean, like, I have completed my MBA in 2018, I would say. Uh, but then it didn't, I haven't joined PwC immediately. Reason being, like, I have ups and downs with the family. I was
So by
blessed
this
with
time you are in US. Am I correct? You left Pfizer and moved to US for your family concerns. Am I correct?
yeah. Yes,
Okay.
I was with Pfizer for some time, even when after moving to US for a
Mhm.
year or so. Then, no, I need to take care of some of the things, so I left Pfizer then, and so that's how it went in US as well. So even in Pfizer, I did a couple of assignments to Pfizer for the international tech transfers, and I made some of site visits for you will have a very good opportunity for all those things.
So shall I put one question here? Whether
Mhm.
your experiences in Pfizer in India had
Yep.
helped you in getting a job in US after landing in US?
So definitely, the answer would be yes. Your experience will definitely matters, and your education will also definitely matters, and how you, build up your knowledge during your job.
Actually,
That
what was your responsibility, duties, and responsibilities in Pfizer when you are joining in US? Pfizer.
So that is like taking up an assignment in US. It is I was working for a tech transfer department. So basically, like you'll be moving your molecules from India to US. That's where your tech transfer departments will come into picture from an end-to-end process. So to ensure a smooth transition of all those things, you need the scientists and the managers, and that's where I was put in. But
So
it's
you
a good experience I do have over there.
So after a few months, you left the job and you are taking care of your family.
Yeah.
And then again, when you joined in PwC, actually after that you joined in PwC. Am I correct?
After that, I joined with another MNC called Alembic. I was into corporate regulatory affairs. So then I joined with PwC.
Alembic in US. Am I correct?
Alembic in India.
Alembic in
So
India. You came back to India and joined in Alembic. Very
yes,
good.
we moved
Okay.
back to
Then,
India, and then I joined with Alembic, and after that, I joined PwC. Yeah.
okay. So it was
It was
very nice to hear.
actually great listening to the career of a young girl, which whom I met in 2010. So many will not be knowing. Actually, the thing is, when I actually, as a professor, when we meet a new batch of students in 2010, when this batch and everyone, I asked them to have a self intro of the students, and everyone is talking about how they came to the M-Farm and everything. And I asked a personal question. I used to ask generally about their parents and other things, and what is their dream. Actually, I think still her dream has to come true. I don't know whether she remembers it. She told me I need to crack for IAS exam and I want to be a IAS officer. Do you remember?
Yes, sir. I do. I do.
Yeah, that was the first
I
thing she
do
told me.
that
Because
activities.
there only I got impressed with the as a student with Pratyusha, because everyone was talking about something else and they were focusing only on the pharma aspect. The day when she joined M-Farm itself, she told me that M-Farm I joined for because my father was forcing me to join in India, not allowing me to go to travel to some other place because I had a different opinions of doing it. And she told me I used to read a lot of newspapers, still collecting it, and I'm preparing for my IAS exams, and I want to be an IAS officer. That was the thing she told on the day one of the personal self-introductory class to me. Then actually, so she told she was very dedicated enough. Otherwise, she could not achieve this feat, because though in inform she was a topper, she was a gold medalist. She was doing a lot of research, as she told. She will be doing other than studies, academic activities, extra the co-curricular academic activities. That is, she'll be going for a lot of conferences, presenting papers, and she Our publications are mostly with impact factors, and she was particular. Though as a guide, I was not particular because not to force the student to be on impact factor one. And she was particular enough. No, sir, I'll be going for impact factor one. Let it take time to publish. I'll do a better work. And as she told, she did an internship in Aspira that time itself with the help of some of his colleagues, and she was doing a very good internship, and the M.Pharm thesis was good, and she made a good publication out of that. Similarly, she completed exactly a PhD in 3 years of time. Part-time PhD in exactly 3.5 years. She submitted a thesis and synopsis, and she got done because she was a student. Actually, nowadays the universities specify 2 minimum good papers for publication. Then only they can submit the thesis. But that time itself, she was having a 6 papers with good impact factor. She was a most research-oriented personality. Well, I was also one way lucky to have a good PhD scholar who was listening, because most getting a actually guide and a scholar rapport is very essential to have a good research progress. So in that way, both were benefited. Actually, no, she was in US also for quite a period of time, and any achievement she is getting in her life, immediately after the family, definitely she used to call me or message me or text me that I have become this, I have become that, I won this. So we have a more family oriented because we are just like a family now, because she used to come to my house. She used to spend a lot of time with my wife rather than with me, and she used to speak a lot of time with my wife talking about our things. And whenever comes back to India from US, many times she was in Andhra, she was coming to Chennai, and she used to visit my house. And one day she gave me a small memento stating that it was the best teacher. I was actually overwhelmed by that memento, and she told me that definitely you deserve it, sir. That was a great. It was just like an Oscar award winning memento to me, because any teacher to listen from the student, you are a best teacher. That was a thing. So that moment still I remember. And even she brought a fiancé home after the engagement, and she told, "This is my fiancé," and we had interacted with Vikram. Actually, she had, as she told, all the 3 beautiful men in her life. Her father was a school HM, and I have interacted with him over phone 1 or 2 times just. But I have interacted with both her husband and her father-in-law, that is Mr. Vikram, and he is also very good, dedicated guy, and he was very health conscious once. Now I don't know what about it. After the marriage, health conscious is there or not. Before that, he was very health conscious, and he was also particular enough to work hard. He was IT guy, but he was supporting her in all her life achievements in her career after her marriage. So only she was able to achieve this feat, because after her marriage only she was doing IIM evening course that she didn't mention. Actually, she was working in the company and she was doing an IIM evening course, and the driver job was done by her husband Vikram. So he used to go to IT, and then she used to pick her, then drop her in Gindi, then so it was a very busy schedule. It's not easy to achieve the feat, though it may be now it's looking easy that she is having multiple degrees and working in PwC, this and that. If you're very dedicated enough, because a girl, because she has to take care of the family, now she also having a kid. That also, for this interview also, she would have locked the kid somewhere inside the house with the parents or thing. But professional career as well as balance. So everyone has to know, men or women, they should know how to balance the professional career and domestic career. So life is so beautiful. It's a very small span of life. And actually, we are thankful to Pratyusha for sharing, because why we want to quote a young personality, because the viewers who are going to see this thing, any of them next show, we are going to introduce a lot of legends and elderly people who have got more experience than us also. But to start with, why we started with the young people, that because this is the career of Pratisha, which we know from 2010 to 20. She has done a lot of things. So this will be impressing the other young students or young people who want to, after B.Pharm, who want to go into M.Pharm, or who has wanted to take B.Pharm as a career itself. So there are a lot of opportunities. B.Pharm is not the only point. B.Pharm, M.Pharm, PhD, then you can switch over to any type of hospital management or industrial management, as what she told. So a lot of things can be done. And So this was quite first time we are also interviewing a guest, and first time actually last week only it was first time for us to get into Facebook Live, and this time we are into Facebook Live with a guest,
See, I
and
have a point. I have a point to add to you.
yeah,
Actually, it was very interesting for not only for me but also for the viewers also to know about Pratyusha's career, because most of them will go directly B Pharm, M Pharm, then PhD. This is the academic stream in our side. But she took an diversion after PhD to go to MBA, that too in IIM. That was a very impressive step she had taken. So after PhD also, there is no need to stop. Any degree we can pursue, and we can keep on learning. Keep on learning will take you to greater heights. That's for Pratyusha stands as a symbol of for a representative for such people. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
it is really interesting for me as well as for the viewers to know about your career, and you, which is driven in a different stream. That's what is very impressive. Please carry
so
on.
so before signing off, I actually though Pratyusha said father is not allowed her in the earlier stages, but he has allowed both the daughters. Actually, she's having a sister Navisha. She's more naughty than Pratyusha. I have interacted with her quite some time. Now she is in Australia or somewhere else.
She was in Australia, sir. She was in
Yeah.
Sydney.
So our father Jawahar Babu has made a sorry, not a Jawahar Babu is a father-in-law, right? Yeah.
That's
Yeah, his father-in-law is a very humble person. Actually, he was a doctor in Pondicherry, and I met him. Once she brought her. Actually, the father-in-law drove her to Chennai. To some reason, she was to be in Chennai. So that once he drove her to Chennai from the car, and they came to my house for some reason, for some research purpose or something, to complete a thesis work or something. It was, I don't quite exactly remember, but all the three men in her life was quite caring for us still, and I think she can reach different heights. Though she has not completed her IAS, maybe she can do something related to that, and maybe pharmacovigilance or something. She may have a hand on that in future. No, we don't know what tomorrow is going to be for us, for me, or for Satish or for Sajisha. We can plan something new, and this lockdown we are doing in a productive manner, not in a everyone feels that lockdown is scolding corona and other things, but corona is one way helping us to explore new things in academic arena as well as in research arena, and to guide our students in a career guidance program. See, simply if you go and put some slides and say this is a career in B Pharm, M Pharm, no one will listen, and no pharmacy student will be interested to, okay, this is like. But our motive is to bring some young people as well as senior people in this pharma field, and to share their experience, so that
Yes,
they,
we want to put real time examples for the
yes.
viewers.
So real
That's
time
what we want
examples,
to.
because see, though Pratisha said all the positivities, she has faced a lot of negativities in her career, because in industry she would have faced a lot of scoldings from a senior manager, senior fellows, because no one will be actually, the men in the family will support, but men outside or women outside may not, as a colleague they may not have jealousy over at a point of time, though they are thick friends or something. When you say I want to do a IIM, I want to do this, that, and if every definitely the path will not be a very smooth path, but everyone should face a difficult path, then only can achieve your laurels in your particular field. We wish actually good success for Pratisha too. Still, she is young. She has only 10 years of career now, and she has more 20 to 30 years of career in her future to explore new things also. So we'll be getting back a thing. So for the
I wish
viewers,
that, I wish that once again we should call Pratyusha after 10 years in this show and interview her. And she got to be in a greater height than this day.
so
Yeah.
and similarly for the viewers, before signing off the Pharma Duos, before signing off, we want to say that the next guest whom we are going to call, just I'm going to enter both the guests, so everyone will be seeing this. So the guest is a very good close friend of Dr. Satish. He was one of the colleague. They worked together. They stayed in a room together. They shared their experiences together. But the colleague, but he is very new to
Very
me. We
senior
had
than
a
me. Very senior than me.
actually the guest is a very perfect gentleman, because I have been with him for in contact because Satish only introduced to me. So he was only 3 to 4 years. I have a journey with him for only 3 to 4 years, but it was very good journey, and we started it all well in Vizag in one IAPSC conference. Then actually we became thick friends after drinking an Irani chai in Vizag, and so that is he is the guest for next week. So he is from Kerala, I think, and what he is going to talk. He is going to talk about the PharmD career for the students, because his students are well placed and in abroad actual. So we want to bring him as a guest because the guest is known to both of us. So today's guest was more known to me and Satish sir was interviewing, and next week guest was more known to Satish sir, so I'll be interviewing. This is the concept we'll be planning. So thank you all. The Pharma Duos is signing off for tonight.
Thank you, Pradeesha. Thank you, Dr. Shanmugam sir. Wish you all the best.
So keep supporting us. So we'll be with the senior guest talking about PharmD career next week. Good night for today. Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
Night, everyone.